Welcome to Wager Talk. I am Kelly Stewart at Kelly in Vegas on Twitter, joined by Vegas runner at Gianni the Greek. What is it? Greek underscore gambler. You got me all screwed up now. You know what? I said to somebody the other day, when we were at Westgate watching the national championship game, I kept trying to at Vegas runner and couldn't find you on Twitter. I'm like, he's always at Vegas runner for
Greek
life.
Underscore gambler.
At Greek underscore gambler. Yes. I totally butchered that one. It doesn't matter. You are here because we're talking UFC. You're kind of famous these days.
No,
UFC on
famous.
The line. On UFC Fight Pass, you can watch all of VR's stuff, but VR is going to give you guys a little bit of heads up before he does that show. This is an interesting fight. Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway. These guys fought before, 2012.
Indeed.
And Poirier was a $7 favorite. So what's really the difference here? I mean, obviously besides 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, listen, back then, that was Max Holloway's debut. He was only 4-0 at that point as a professional, while Dustin Poirier was already pretty seasoned. He had already fought in the WEC. Granted, he's a lot more seasoned now, but he was way ahead of where Max Holloway was. So he took him down and got the first-round submission. Since then, though, Max has been on a tear, and on top of, becoming now a man, he was a child then, he's won 13 straight fights and continued to evolve. Where Poirier, he's gotten better, but the trajectory hasn't been the same. Where Poirier's kept going like this and Max was like, boom, he's just taken off. And that's where I don't think it's not even perception. These are two completely different fighters than who they were back then. Because
so are we going to have people see that Poirier beat him back in 2012, and then they're going to bet Poirier just based on...
That's a great question, because for the most part, I think most fans and even bettors alike are tossing that fight away.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't mean much.
And you agree with that? Do you think you should?
Yes,
okay.
Because if you look at the trends, I mean, the trends say it matters. In main events, in rematches, the winner of the first has won 8 of the last 10, and it's actually 9 of the last 10. One was something like a no contest. But the winner of the first has done really well. So trend-wise, Poirier should win in this spot. But most are discounting that because Max Holloway is completely different. You have to remember, he was making his UFC debut 7 years ago. I mean, was he 20 years old? He was a kid. He was a white belt at that point. Like, didn't even...
Probably had no business being in that fight.
Exactly.
Especially
took it on 4 weeks' notice because 2 other guys had gotten injured. So Poirier was scheduled to fight 2 other guys, and in the last second, they just grabbed Holloway and offered him a UFC fight.
There you go. Okay, explain to me this line move. So Holloway opened as minus 275 favorite. Now he's down to $2 favorite. Decipher that for me. These are sharp guys.
Yeah, it's sharp money on Poirier. Not surprising, because most think this could be a coin flip type of fight. If it stays standing, Holloway should win. If Poirier could take him down and even keep him there, more importantly, he should be able to get the win. So it's going to come down to who's able to more or less execute their game plan. Personally, I kind of agree with that move towards the Poirier side. I love Max Holloway. I'm a huge fan. I've backed him and made money with him. Kid's won 13 straight. His stock is at its lowest in his last fight, and that's why I was so high on him. Now it's really high, his stock. And you're paying a premium. He could win this Saturday. He probably should win this, but it's not a bet that if you continue to find positions like this, you're going to make money betting MMA. There's not a ton of value on Max Holloway for this bet. I think Poirier, I like them more at that opener. If you could get above 2-1, it's worth a bet. Below 2-1, I'd watch it, to be honest with you.
Okay, great stuff from VR. $9 Monday at WagerTalk. Get all daily packages for Monday's action, plus any NBA, NHL, UFC, and baseball for only $9. That includes any 5% best bets, normally priced at $30.